I'm Jess.
And I'm Karli. And this is the Only Human podcast. I could just feel that I was like so out of alignment with myself and my values. I felt so empty. I started to like feel like a shell of myself.
That was so debilitating for me, like that fear of putting myself out there and just the fear of like letting people in.
We have our emotional support water bottles.
We do.
Now we got the giggles. Do you like the crew neck better than the hoodie? Or
just
depends
a
on the
crew
vibe?
person.
Yeah.
Like I do like our hoodie, but just a hoodie in general, it like feels very suffocating to me. Like I have this thing with like my neck. Like I don't know. It feels like claustrophobic. Yeah.
I think we talked about this before, but especially when it like moves back and then it's like
so
choking you.
high,
It's like very suffocating.
It is. But I feel like it's a light enough fabric that it doesn't like ride up too bad.
Yeah.
And, like, but when it's really thick.
I was gonna say I have a sweatshirt that's really, really thick and I love it, but I never wear it because it's like so heavy on my body and then I like end up literally feel like I'm getting choked out.
I know. And I feel like the holes for the head in some sweatshirts are just like bigger than others.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I've been leaning towards this. And also the other one doesn't have the hoodie that I have isn't like updated. It's like the one with the logo over here and
the
it
first
doesn't have
one.
our at
V1.
which is like fine, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the original.
Wait, you didn't get another one after that?
No, I got this one.
Do you want me to bring you one of the updated
No.
ones? I think it's fine. This is not
like
hoodie girl?
Yeah, I don't wear it often enough to be able to like. We're good. Okay. As per usual.
We just talk until somebody's like, and we're rolling.
And you can start the content now.
If they didn't say that, we'd be sitting here for 30 minutes.
Yeah. I feel like every time I look over at you, I have a new host over here. Like, this is a new person.
I gotta keep the people on their toes.
I know. First, you were in clown pants.
Yeah.
And then, no, what else?
I don't even remember. I'm always taking on different personas.
You always got something going on.
I feel like I have to prove, though, to people that I do, in fact, wash my hair.
Yeah. And you wear it down sometimes.
Well, it's so rare. But we usually record, I feel like, on like Wednesdays and Thursdays. And my hair washing day is usually like Sunday. So by the time we're like late week, it's just going up and it has product in it and I like it slick. I feel the most me when my hair is slick. Like you're saying you feel like you have a new co-host today. I feel like I'm a new person as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see how she does. She apparently can't talk.
We were talking on the way over here today, and what did you say? You were like, I'm only going to put a finger on my ring once.
Yes.
And I was like, oh no, here it goes.
So I try to limit the amount that I talk before we start rolling because then I'm just already exhausted.
You're
and
already
there's
word vomiting.
2 brain cells left up in here when I really only start with 3. On a good day.
I'm actually very excited about our topic today. I don't know why. I just feel like I have a lot of like things to say about it, but we're going to be talking about money today in all aspects, like socially, as it regards to like weddings and big purchases, but then also like just how we feel about it, what our money archetype is, which I didn't even know what that was until Karli made me take the test.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be good.
I'm excited. We like talked about doing this. It was probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago, because I did an episode on Figure It Outable. I had a financial therapist on, and she's the person that introduced these money archetypes to me. And it was such a fascinating episode because it really is like there's a psychological component to it, but then there's also a social component to it. And I think it really impacts the way that we like interact with others. And it's just so prevalent, especially when you are just like living your adult life and you're going on trips and you're going on the bachelorettes, like you said, and how people split money and think about money is so different.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think
it becomes very apparent. Like in those instances, how differently people think about money.
Yeah. And because there's, the money archetypes, like that's the reason why everybody, treats it a little bit differently, has different feelings toward it. So before we even get to the money archetypes, I'm curious, like, how does money personally make you feel?
I feel like the idea of money, it just sounds like to me like freedom, security, I don't feel like money equals happiness, but I feel like it affords you to be able to not have to worry about a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And that in turn allows you to have more time and like more headspace to do things that you love and spend time like doing the things that you want to be doing. I just feel like it means like flexibility and freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of my similar definition. That's like more than what it means, I feel like. Like, to me, agree. Freedom.
Yeah.
Like, I think about it affords me the life that I want to live. I also think that's because like life is so expensive these days. So I think about my dream life, and I think about like owning land, owning animals, and yes, having like flexibility to not have to work until I'm like 65, 70 years old, being able to have like security for my children one day, and just being able to, you know, take trips with my friends when I want. Like, it really is just like the little things, and it can be like bigger things as well. But yes, to me, like money just allows you to live a life that feels true to you. In terms of how it makes me feel, though, like I feel like I've always felt a little like awkward about money, both in like social settings and just like in my own life. Like, I think I tend to shy away from it just because it makes me a little bit uncomfortable and anxious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like maybe that's why I didn't understand the question, because like I feel indifferent about it. Like I don't think it makes me feel like awkward or uncomfortable or anything, but yeah, I don't know. Doesn't make me feel great. I guess if I had more of it, it would make me feel good. But
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like kind of indifferent.
Yeah, like it's just like a thing.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah.
I feel like we'll probably lean into a little bit more of how it makes us feel and like what it means as we kind of like dissect the 4 archetypes.
Yeah.
So why don't we just jump into that? Because I actually took some notes and I have them on my little cue card here. So I can just like read the definition. Just bear with me, because I feel like this will actually be helpful for people to see if they identify with one. And then as we kind of read through them, it'll be fun to see if we like resonate with what the quiz told us that we are, and if we could have like kind of foreseen that for each other. So there's 4 money archetypes. The first one is blissfully indifferent. People with this archetype tend to avoid dealing with money altogether. They may feel uncomfortable, guilty, or even view money as bad. So they literally ignore bank statements, budgets, or finances. Beneath it all, there's often a belief like, I don't deserve money, or money is selfish, which leads to avoidance. That said, they can be generous and often benefit from systems like automatic savings or investing. Next is the money admirer. Admirers enjoy sorry. I was just thinking, I was like, popcorn Jess. Like in school.
Well, that would be real unfortunate, because I don't have them on my cue card, so I'd just be making something up.
I'm like, and I send it over to Jess. Jess, do you
if you want to hand me your cards, I will.
Sorry, now I'm gonna have the giggles, because you know, like when I'm not supposed to laugh, I crack up. Okay. Money admirers, they enjoy earning and accumulating.
Give me the cards. Popcorn me. Money admirer. Stop. Get it together.
All right, I'm gonna drink what. This happens every time. I'm like, don't laugh. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Admirers enjoy earning and accumulating money. It represents success, security, and happiness to them. They're often driven, entrepreneurial, and focused on financial goals, but can fall into the trap of constantly shifting the goalposts and never feeling content. I guess I will just continue with this one. This next one. Number 3. The free spirit. Also referred to as the spender. Free spirits believe money is meant to be enjoyed. They embrace spontaneity and often find joy in treating themselves or giving little gifts. They may buy impulsively, driven by emotion or the thrill of spending, sometimes equating purchases with self-worth. All right, there's one more. Do you think you can?
No.
It's actual tears right now.
I was just holding water in my mouth for like 60 seconds. Yeah, no, you take it as I.
Okay, the last one is the doomsday prepper. These individuals focus on saving and planning. They're excellent at preparing financially, clipping coupons, and building safety nets. But their approach is often fear-driven, anchored in the anxiety of potential lack. So while they may be solid on paper, they can struggle to enjoy the present.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
I get my cue cards back. Oh my God.
So
oh my God. Okay. Is that right? Yeah.
Which one do you speculate that I am off of that list?
Honestly, from first glance, I feel like the doomsday prepper only because it has the word prepper in it. Like that's literally the only reason, because it says they're excellent at preparing financially, clipping coupons, and building safety nets. And I just feel like you're so organized. And so not that you have like a jaded view on money, or that I even feel like I know your relationship with money very well, but just because I know that you're organized and you like made us a spreadsheet to keep track of like all our only human expenses and like dealt with like the LLC. Like I just feel like you're very on top of it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. What about me?
Can I see the cards again?
Oh yeah.
I feel like you are a money admirer because I feel like you have an accounting background. So like
Finance.
Okay. Is it not the same thing?
No, it's kind of different. It's different. I mean,
to someone
I took
that
an accounting
know,
class, but I got a
you have
46
a money
out of
background.
100. So I would not say I have an accounting
you
background.
have a finance background.
Yeah.
Okay, even better to my point.
Yeah. Right.
But I feel like it talks about like having financial goals, and you enjoy like earning and accumulating money. I feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not like super top of mind for you, but you would like enjoy being able to like earn it and spend it and like put it towards things that you want to do. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I definitely think I've never been motivated by money, but you would think that because I studied finance in school that I would be like excited by it, because I think we're naturally excited about things that we're knowledgeable about. But I've like always dreaded like anything that has to do with like investing, like picking like my 401k and like all of like the details. Like I mean, I guess this is a spoiler. Like I'm the blissfully indifferent. That's what my money archetype quiz showed me. And I was like, yeah, that is spot on, because I do the things that I have to do, but I would love to like not look at another bank statement ever. Like it just makes me overwhelmed. And anytime there's an option to like set it and forget it and just have things like automatically coming out of my account, I opt for that. And of course I like go in and like make sure that like on a monthly or like bi-weekly basis to make sure that everything looks good. But that is like my least favorite thing to do ever.
Yeah. Did it give you anything different in like the results part that wasn't on there? Or no, I'm just curious.
Let me see. Okay. You're not a numbers person and you don't want to be. Money can feel icky, stressful, and annoying. Yeah, everything that I just said. You avoid looking at statements or bank balances. You'd rather not think about investing or retirement. There's parts of you that wonders, is money kind of bad? So what this means for me, money isn't something you want to think about, but avoiding money doesn't make it go away. It just makes you miss out on opportunities like raises, benefits, financial confidence, which that part actually resonates because there's so many people that have like credit cards and they take advantage of like all of their points and they're so good and they're like getting free trips here and like saving on gas and new restaurants. And I have been telling myself for years that I need to like start tapping into that because it's real money that you could be saving and benefits that you could be capitalizing on. But I just cannot for the life of me bring myself to figure it out and like get it all sorted.
Yeah.
So I think that's a prime example. It's a lot.
Especially when you're not like that passionate about it. Like you're just like, maybe it'll be $20 and like it's fine. I'll just not do it and I'll just spend the $20. Like,
so that's my thing. Like I feel like I kind of have this mindset that the reward isn't always worth it. To me, like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So I'm like, I go through all of this trouble and I have another thing to keep track of. Yeah. And what am I saving? $100 on a flight? Like I'm fine. Like I'll just pay the $100. Like to me, that's worth it.
Which is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it is fine. But then like if you could be unlocking even bigger savings and like benefits, then maybe I should rethink that. Like it accumulates. Like things add up over time. Right. So yeah, that's fine if you want to pay an extra $100 per flight, but that's really going to mean something one day that I could be saving.
I know. I like swear it's a scam sometimes when people are like, I got this trip to Bora Bora for free for 14 days. And I'm like, really? Did you actually? Like, I just don't believe you.
Right.
Like, show me the statement.
But I think we're just ignorant. Like, I think people actually are out here like so educated and organized around it. But that's for a later problem. I'll do it one day. I'm curious.
We have plenty of time.
Yeah. What is the one that showed up on your quiz?
My money archetype is the money admirer.
Okay.
So we didn't guess either of ours correctly.
No. Yeah.
It says, for you, money means security. You believe the secret to happiness, the solution to your problems is to have more money. Therefore, you think about other ways to earn and amass it. This might look like thinking about how much interest you're earning and what stocks will be the next big winners, which I don't feel like is that true. Or it might look like trying out more side hustles. Every time you hit a financial goal, you immediately set a new milestone before allowing yourself to celebrate a victory. It says you don't get anxious looking at your money, so you have the ability to look at your checking account and investment returns objectively. You have a strong work ethic and a capacity for entrepreneurship. There is a sense of innovating, empowering, and leading the way for yourself and others.
Does that resonate?
It does a little bit. I feel like I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because I feel like my view about money and finances in general has changed recently. So I kind of feel like I'm between them a little bit.
Say more.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued.
So it's like the fall right now. So last winter was when Aunt and I started to like kind of just ditch the budget and be like, we're just going to spend whatever and like have fun with it. But prior to that, we were on like a pretty strict budget where we would like not overspend for that week. So like each week had a budget. So like just say our weekly budget was like $300. Like if we were at 300 and we wanted to get sushi or something, like we wouldn't because we would be going over that week. So we were like very strict with our money. And it was just like so tiring and like soul sucking. And it was kind of just like for what? Like we weren't seeing that much of a benefit from it. So after being like miserable over the winter, we were kind of just like, we're not gonna, because like last summer we would not go to Phillies games or not go to a concert that we wanted to go to because we were like, oh, the tickets are 150 each. Like this is just too much. We wouldn't go out, like literally don't go out to dinner, like things like that. So we were like, this summer, we're just going to have fun. We're not going to worry about like the budget. Like we're obviously not recklessly spending, but we're not like keeping track of like how much we're spending on dinner or like whatever. If we feel called to do it, like we're going to do it. And it was just like such a mental thing. Like it just feels so much better. And like it does give me anxiety sometimes, like because our savings is at the lowest that it's ever been. But I'm also just like trying to adopt the mindset that money just like is just energy.
I've heard that
it's
before.
Just flowing in and flowing out, and it's gonna come back. And like we are not reckless by any means. Like we're just trying to do what feels true to us and like taking the trip because we want to take the trip, and you know, going out to dinner because we want to spend time and go out to dinner and eat a good meal. Like yeah, so
there's so many things that you guys can do now before your parents one day. And so I feel like when you do have children, like being able to like spontaneously go to the Phillies game or go to that concert or go out to dinner on a Wednesday just because you both feel like it, like that's going to be a lot harder. And those opportunities are going to be so few and far between. So I think you guys are really like doing yourselves a favor, and you'll look back and be like, thank God we kind of like lived a little and let go of that budget.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, when you guys were like very like strict and disciplined with your money, was that something that you both had like previously agreed upon? Was it like somebody's personality over the other, or was it just like we are a couple, we just bought a house, like let's get very serious about this money, you were in it together?
Yeah, so once we bought our house like what 2.5 years ago now, that was like a huge financial burden on us. Like we put out a ton of money just to get the house up and running because it's your first house, so you need a couch and a bed and all the things, silverware, like, so we spent a lot of money on that. And then our mortgage is like $2,000 a month plus utilities, plus like whatever. So that was like a really big financial commitment, and we just felt like we were really strapped. Like we were like basically didn't have any room for savings. It was just like spending this little budget and then the rest goes to like bills and things like that. So I think in the beginning we felt like very strapped. So we were like just very strict with it because we were like, we don't really have like much play here. Like if we, you know, spend on a Phillies game and then spend here, like we're not going to have like enough money to pay the mortgage, you know.
It's also a really hard time to be a young person, and just like with the economy right now, like I feel like we're in a hard spot because everything is so expensive. So like you want to live, but you also do want to be smart with your money and save for the future and like set yourself up for success. But it's really hard because you can't really have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
I feel like we have to worry about things and kind of treat money a little bit differently than ever before just because life is so expensive. not even just the price of things, but the expectation of like what we spend our money on.
Yeah.
I think the stakes just keep getting higher, which I know we're like excited to kind of talk about like money in society and like social settings. Is there anything else about how you think about money or feel about money personally, like before our hot takes and before we kind of talk about it on like a situational basis?
I feel like, you know, everyone has such a different feeling around money. And I think like obviously it goes back to how we grow up and how the dialogue about money was, like how it was talked about in our house. But I just wanted to bring up this one quote from, his name is Brandon Turner. He's, I think, the owner, founder of Bigger Pockets, which is like a real estate investing, like educational thing. And so he's like, has a lot of real estate and it's very rich. And he said one time, I don't hire people because I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy because I hire people. And that just like changed my mindset about money and about what you do with your money when you have it. And it just like, it's just a completely different mindset than like what we grew up with. You know what I mean? Like I feel like in the Philadelphia area, everyone's very working class, like hustle, hustle, hustle. And then you get and give your time for the money and all these things. But like there is a whole nother world where people live where like they don't exchange time for money and they don't exchange hard work and grit for money. Like, and so that like was so, it was like such a jarring quote because I was like, wow, this is very true because he's saying like, if I have the money to do these things, like I'm going to free up my time so that I am able to like enjoy like the things that life's really about, like spending time with your kids. Like if I have somebody that can cook me dinner every night, like a chef, and that might seem crazy to pay for it, but like now I can enjoy time with my family instead of like, why am I going to do that if I can pay for it? Does that make sense?
It does. But then also, is it saying that it like frees up his time? Like if he's hiring people, it allows him to like scale a little bit more efficiently and like ultimately make more money. Like I'm putting myself in the position of somebody who like they can't hire if they don't have another means to make money. Like they need to like, that needs to be amplified.
Right.
And that hire needs to like translate into like more money, more opportunity to like actually scale that business.
Yeah, that too. I mean, like, I'm just talking about it, I guess, in a aspect of like personal life. Like, if you have, like, if just say you do have a 9-to-5 job and you're making a lot of money and you can afford to hire a chef, like hiring that person allows you the time to spend with like your loved ones that you're not cooking.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
But in the same way of like a business, like he says that you have to think about your time as like, if you're doing a task in your business, like just say the task of editing, like, okay, how much could you pay someone to edit your stuff? Say $20 an hour. Well, if you're taking that on, you're saying that your time is worth $20 an hour. So if it's worth more than that, then pay someone and you do something that's in the business that's worth more per hour because that's what you're worth.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of different like ways to look about it, but it really just opened my eyes to a different mindset of like trading time for money. But it's just like that mindset of like someone in the working class would look at someone that hires a chef and be like, oh really, they can't cook their own food, but that person is in like completely different world with a totally different mindset around money. You know what I mean?
And I love how you said like people's mindsets around money go back to childhood and the way that you were raised and the environment that you were brought up in. And being, like you said, from Philadelphia, very like working class, I feel like it's natural that people are very like practical with their money, and we rarely see people do things that are like, I wouldn't say reckless, but like risky or like taking a shot on themselves. And this is obviously on a smaller scale, but even launching Only Human. And I remember when you asked me to kind of join forces and launch a new podcast, like that was a real consideration for me. It was like the money aspect of it. And specifically back then, even though this was, you know, like less than a year ago, I still had a lot of like reservations about money. And I was scared to spend it because I wasn't sure of the payout and if it was going to be worth it. And I still like kind of battle with that, even when we're like buying our merch and like investing like a couple $1,000s in that. And they always say, you know, you have to spend money to make money, and nobody defines how soon you're going to make money. And so I think we're kind of in this space where obviously we're spending money before we're getting sponsorships on the podcast or making, you know, money from like various keynote speaking opportunities, but we believe in the opportunity that lies ahead. And I think that's kind of helped me heal my relationship with money a little bit, because I've learned that I don't always have to be like so practical the way that I was brought up. And I can just spend money to enjoy something, to have fun, to take a chance. And is it the worst thing in the world if it doesn't amount to like everything I hoped for and more? Like, at least I lived a little in the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's like exposure therapy for you, like you were saying to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exposure therapy.
Yeah.
Once you start doing it, I think it becomes a little bit easier, and you're not so attached and like white knuckling money, because you just realize, like you said, it's energy and it's literally just a thing. Sometimes you have more of it, sometimes you have less of it, and it buys you opportunities, experiences, things. But like at the end of the day, I mean, I know it's probably easier said than done. And some people are like literally trying to scrounge up enough money to put food on the table. I'm not talking about that. Like, this is being like from a place of privilege.
Yeah.
But I do think there was a large part of my life where I put too much power in the hands of money. Yeah. And I think I finally started to take it back.
I love that. And I love that you said like white knuckling it. And I just feel like that is like what the working class Philadelphia area is like. We do not want to let it go. And it's like, okay, well, what is it going to be sitting in your savings account for? Like, have a certain amount of money in your savings account, and then the rest you can do whatever you like. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it's so hard because I'm not like a reckless spender, so I can't really like speak to that. But yeah, it's just like, what are we holding on to it for? Like, what is so important about it?
Right. What do you like to spend your money on? Like, if things are worth the splurge, like for you, what are those things?
It's so funny because when we were in that space of like having a really tight budget, I got rid of all of my habits of like going to Target and like picking something out maybe that I didn't go for. And like, I was never a reckless spender to begin with, but like if I saw something on Amazon that I wanted, I would just get it. Like, I wouldn't think about it. But I have adopted such a mindset where like I need to want something for like a week and then like really keep thinking about it and then justify it and be like, okay, I'm going to get it. So what was the question?
What do you spend? What do you
enjoy
spending money on?
I don't really I don't love spending my money on like material things. I do like a new phone. I like a new car. Like, I like those things, but otherwise, like, I don't need a purse. I don't need jewelry, like whatever. I like to spend it on like experiences, like traveling or like just doing, like going to a concert or different things like that. How about you?
I'm the same. I'm definitely like experiences. Love travel. I'll never like say no to a trip because it's like too expensive. Concerts, games. I also will spend any amount of money on like my supplements. I'm not a big like workout gear person. Like, I feel like people love their like athletic wear and they like splurge on their sets. For me, I'm like CRZ or Crazy Yoga on Amazon. Like, I love a deal. Good. Like Marshalls has sets. Like, I more so invest in like vitamins and like quality food. We don't really have many options around us, but if we have like a local farm, like I would pay out the ass for like grass-fed beef and like local eggs and raw milk. Like I would buy it all. Some things are just worth the price, and because I value health and wellness so much, like I'm willing to spend the extra buck for the quality.
That's a place where I'm still trying to get to. Like, we're shopping at a Whole Foods and you see the organic banana. Well, okay, banana's a really terrible example, but like the organic bag of kale versus the regular bag of kale, and it's like $2 more. And I'm like, I want the organic one. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? It's just not feeling great this week. Like, I don't want to spend that extra $2 because it's not even that. It's that every single thing is like $2 more. And then it becomes like everything's double. But at what price? Like, you know.
Well, that's why you have to like establish what is worth it. So like you said banana, you're like, oh, that's a bad example because they say like the dirty dozen or something, and like they always say like if it has like a peel, like an avocado, a banana, like that probably doesn't need to be organic, but like strawberries, blueberries, apples, like things that are directly exposed that you eat the skin, like that's worth it. And so I feel like not everybody's going to be able to splurge all the time, but like what are those splurge items for you? Do you want to switch gears a little bit into talking about money socially? Because I'm really excited to like, there's so many like
there's
takes
a lot of takes
and a lot to talk about there. So definitely want to make sure we have enough time. I guess we can start by just talking about like events. and like social gatherings, because as we've said a time or 100 on this podcast recently, I'm in the thick of all of my friends getting married and having so many showers and weddings like coming up this fall. And so obviously like when you're attending a wedding, especially for a girl, like you're buying the dress, and then if you have to like fly to a wedding, and then you're getting the hotel room, and then there's like the gifts and stuff. So just like speaking to that, like I think there's a lot of question around like who's responsible for what, and like what is the price that you're willing to pay, even down to like the gift of like for the couple, like because weddings are now so expensive because of inflation. So just generally speaking, like how do you feel in terms of like weddings and the price specifically as women that we have to pay for those?
Are you like speaking in like that you're in the wedding?
Yeah.
Or like as a guest? Okay. So I'm just going to speak off of the experience of being the one that got married. But I feel like if you are in a wedding, you shouldn't have to pay for much. Like I feel like it should be on the couple to pay for it, like within their wedding expenses.
Okay, so like
because it shouldn't be like a burden for you to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like it shouldn't be a burden for someone, a financial burden for someone else, like to take that on. Like someone could want a backyard wedding, but someone could want this big grand wedding with this big grand bachelorette trip, but that's on them. Like that's their decision. That shouldn't be like a financial burden on someone else. That's their friend. You know what I mean? I just feel like it causes a lot of turmoil between everyone, especially when there's like a lot of people getting married in the same amount of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely think it's like a fine line, and there needs to be like open communication of like, hey, we're looking at this Airbnb in Tulum. It's going to be $600 per person instead of maybe $250 for what we would have paid if we went to the Poconos. Like, is everybody okay with that? And I think it's kind
of. Who's going to say yes or no?
No.
Who's going to say no?
I mean, maybe they won't say no, but maybe they'll choose not to go. Like, I think if you give the people the facts, because also, I guess I'm asking what the alternative would be. Like, do you think the bride should be paying for the Airbnb in Tulum?
Yeah, I did just see a video of this bride and was like, I paid for the Airbnb and all of the like excursions that we did. Wow. Because I don't want anyone to feel like, and like that's totally fine if you can't do it because there's a lot of expenses, but then don't have a bachelorette party in Tulum. Like why should your exotic bachelorette party put a financial burden on other people who might not be in the same situation?
Yeah.
You know, like I just don't think it's
see
fair.
Both sides, because I also think, again, I'm always going to say the onus is on the individual.
To
meaning
like speak up.
The bridesmaid to either speak up and be like, hey, this actually isn't in the cards for me. I'm going to sit this one out, and then send them like a champagne bottle at dinner or something. Yeah. Like it sucks that you can't go. I feel like, again, just playing devil's advocate, like everybody only gets married once. And if you're a bride, I think you should have like the bachelorette of your dreams. You shouldn't expect. Now, if I was having a bachelorette in Tulum and I was mad at my friend for not wanting to come or not being able to come for financial reasons, like that would be ludicrous.
Yeah, of course.
But I do think the bride should kind of have her experience. I also think there's this notion that like hopefully everybody will have their time. So while I'm like a bridesmaid for hire over here and I've been like just like spending money, I'm like, I'm going to have a wedding one day and people are going to need to spend money on me too and come to my bachelorette and whatever. Like it's all cyclical. But maybe that's not always the case, right? Like sometimes you're in a wedding where it might not be reciprocated one day, or it's not evenly reciprocated. You don't want a bachelorette. So I definitely hear you. I do think it can be a huge burden, but I also think a lot of people try to adopt the mindset that it is also temporary. It's a finite period of time and it just should like be fun. But again, it's a matter of like, can I make rent or not to some people? And I totally understand that if that's the case, then it's not fair to ask that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the conversation of like someone being upset with someone not able to go because of finances, I feel like that's a completely different conversation. But I feel like as the bride, like if you want to do something exotic, like having a weekend, like at least I feel like people are always like, oh, it's the bride, like they shouldn't pay. But I kind of feel like the bride should be the one that's paying most of it. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
that's a hot take.
I'm just conditioned to what I know. And so I feel like within my friend group, like I think I'm having a hard time like bifurcating between my opinion and like what I've been accustomed to. And so on the bachelorettes that I've always gone on, it's like the bride she should leave her wallet at home. Bring your ID, that's it. But it is a big sacrifice for people to be like taking time out of their schedules. And obviously it's a huge financial spend. So yeah, I don't know. I see both sides. I just think society is kind of established that the bride just kind of gets to enjoy because it is her time.
Right. And it's like about pampering her and like that's fine. And maybe you like treat her to dinner and stuff, but like the bigger conversation of just like getting this exotic Airbnb or whatever it is, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of, especially with girls, like we've talked about before, I just feel like there's a lot of room for like secret hatred and like passive aggressiveness.
Yeah.
You know, when like maybe you're feeling some type of way because you don't really want to spend all the money. Or maybe you just like have different goals. Maybe you physically have the money, but you're like, I'm really saving up for a house or this or that. And like, you know.
That's why I think money can be so awkward because it is this taboo thing that I feel like some people aren't willing to share where they're truly at.
Yeah.
Whether it's like mentally where they're at and how they like think about money or like in reality where they're at. Like I actually cannot spend this because I have this payment coming up.
Yeah.
And so I think it's taboo and nobody talks about it, but it wouldn't be so awkward and there wouldn't be so many underlying tensions and feelings of like envy or bad blood or like being butthurt if you were just so forthcoming with like, hey, I love you. I would love to be there. But again, like I can't make this one work. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So I think it's just more of an open line of communication that just inherently isn't there because of the way that we're conditioned.
I know.
To like act around money. We all get so weird.
So weird. And you know, as you're saying that, like I am very open, but I'm also not going to be the first person that's open. Like it really depends like how close I am with that person, obviously. But like if someone's like, oh yeah, I make like $100,000 a year, like, okay, great. Now the door's open. And I feel like I will share with you what I make too and be open with money. But like, I feel like I need someone to open that door first because I just feel like there is a lot of like weird feelings about it. Like what if I share my salary and then you don't want to share, you don't share yours back. And then now you're like feeling some type of way about me about it.
100%.
But why do I care that much?
Like I was just going to ask, do you share your salary with friends?
Yeah, but only if we both mutually share it.
Okay, it's so I'll tell you mine right now if you tell me yours. Just kidding.
I was like, okay. On the
podcast, just
really for the world, I guess.
I mean,
but
here
that's
I am
the thing.
being,
What does it matter?
Well, I think that people look at money and they will think less of you if you make $60,000 because I think we equate money with success and status. And I think somebody will be seen as less than if they make a lower salary. I think that's what it comes down to. We're, again, preconditioned by society to really think money has this greater value and speaks more about a person than it actually does.
Yeah. And I think there's just like, I'm always so curious, but I feel like you're talking about it in like a lower salary, but I'm thinking about a higher salary. Like people would be like, oh, that's not fair. Like I work my butt off and Karli works from home and she makes this much more than me. Like, you know what I mean? I think there's just so much room for, if you don't know how that, like I think that's what it is for me. Like if I don't know how that person feels, like if they're secure within themselves, like I'll share. But if I'm like not sure, then I feel like I'm like, I don't want to put anything out there.
Yeah, because you could be opening the I cannot talk today. Floodgates for a lot of like comparison.
Yeah.
And
that's just like not necessary. It like literally just doesn't matter.
Yeah. I do think between friends, sometimes like salaries don't always need to be known. I do think it's more important in the workplace for like transparency and like actual like industry comps and like what somebody with your equivalent position, whether at your company or another company. Like I think, again, knowledge is power. And when you're advocating for yourself for a higher salary, I think that's important. But among friends, you mentioned like if somebody makes more than you, for example, sometimes like when I was making more money than my friends out of college because I was working on Wall Street, again, not the case anymore, but like when I was, they knew my salary, they knew I had like extra change in my pocket. I almost felt like silly if I Venmo'd them, like requested them for something because in my mind, I'm thinking, well, they know my salary. They know I make a decent amount of money, especially being 22 years old. They're probably like, she doesn't
need it.
Yeah, she has money to spare. When in reality, it's like, yeah, I make more money and like a decent amount of it, but I'm saving for the future, and my days are actually hell, and I'm working 13 hours a day. So like, this isn't my forever. I want to optimize making this money while I can. And so, yeah, I just think it's a very touchy subject, and it depends on like who the key players involved are.
Yes, exactly. Well, I guess that answers my question. I was going to ask if you guys share your salaries, like if you guys know what you make.
Loosely. I feel like some people are more loose with it, also more loose with other people's salaries, and like, so then I'm like, you don't just like say that information about that person without them in the room, or like without them saying it.
Yeah.
One time
that just like goes to show how much of a like secret it is. Like it's like a piece of personal information.
Yeah. One time I call her my sister-in-law, but she's my sister's sister-in-law. But we were in Charleston, and she was like, "What do you make? Above 110 or under 110?" And I went, and she's like, "I'm sorry. Is that is that rude?" And I'm like, I mean, yeah. I'm like, I'll tell you. And then I like told her, but I was like, I was just taken aback because that's not like a normal question that people just like spitfire at you. And I was like, I'll tell you because you asked so cutely and nicely. But like, yeah, probably don't go around like asking strangers that. But yeah, I think everybody has a different take on it.
Oh, that just sparked something for me. I forget. Oh, I feel like when people say like, if you're comfortable sharing, and then when they say that, I'm like, I feel stupid. I'm like, of course I'll share it with you. Like, you're gonna be like, whatever. But,
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know we talked about like weddings and like larger scale things, but I also want to talk about money in the context of social settings that are like a little bit smaller in scale. So just like going out to dinner and stuff. And I think this is like top of mind for me with the bachelorettes and stuff, and a little like nuance for me specifically is that I'm not a big drinker. And so I feel like, you know, when we're buying like alcohol for the house, or we go out to a dinner and I don't get a drink, and like everyone else is drinking like 2 or 3 drinks, or we go to the bar and I get like a club soda and maybe like 1 drink, but then I stop after that. I always feel so funny being like, and I won't, well, maybe like with my best friends, I'll be the person to be like, hey, I actually like had 1 drink over the course of the 5-hour day. Like, do you mind if I just like Venmo for that?
Yeah.
But it gets a little bit tricky. And I know people are funny about like, well, I only ordered an appetizer and you got a whole entree. And like so that to hard. Me, I'm like, I'll always just say, let's just split it equally.
So with food, yes. With food, I feel like I always am like internally laughing at people that are like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna split it. So you got this appetizer. How many drinks did you have? And then like whatever. Like if it's dinner and we all shared the appetizer and whatever, maybe you got your own soup, like whatever.
Doesn't matter.
We'll just split it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But with the drinks thing, it's so hard because I used to get so like annoyed because we would go out with like just say 6 people and we all split it. But these guys are drinking like literally 7 drinks and they're like $12 drinks and I'm drinking like 2. And I'm like, I do not want to pay for your
hangover. Literally
for like your 10 drinks. And so, but there's no like, we haven't found a great way to go about that as society yet. I feel like sometimes it's like you wait for one of the people in the group to be like, oh wait, Jess like actually didn't drink, so why don't you just Venmo for this? And like they call it out instead of you being the one.
Yeah.
But really you should be the one to call it out. But like, I don't know. I feel like that just makes you a Karen.
Exactly. I was gonna say, I'm always like so worried about coming off like cheap.
Yeah.
But I am pretty intentional about what I spend my money on.
Right.
And so, yes, sometimes like I'll see something at Target for $25 and I'm like, I don't really need it though. Like that's really $25 that could be better spent elsewhere, and I don't get it. But then I'm like on a night out with my friends and I'm like, yeah, sure, just because I'm not going to say anything. Like I'll contribute to this. And then I'm like, but like I'm making other concessions elsewhere. So really, yeah, I think with the alcohol thing, if we're at like a bar, like you said, dinner doesn't matter. Even if like everyone else is drinking, just splitting it equally, like it's fine. And now 7 drinks is different than like 3.
Yeah. You're not usually at dinner. You're not usually getting like 7, that many drinks. Yeah.
At a bar, however, like if I just plan on getting 1 drink, I'll just open up my own tab so that I can say, actually wasn't on that tab. I'm just going to get my own. Because then I just pay for my 1 drink, tip the bartender, and then I don't have to deal with like the $400 tab at the end of the night that gets split between everybody.
Yeah.
I can just
Do you ever like ask for separate checks in the beginning?
Separate checks for?
Or like at the end of dinner? Like
No. Well, I was a waitress and like I feel the pain from the other perspective. And so anytime anyone's like, do you want to split this? I'm like, no, just put it on my card. We'll figure it out later.
That's so funny because I was a waitress too, and I had no problem split it. Like you could give me 4 cards and it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Oh my God, no. Splitting it 2 ways isn't that big of a deal.
I feel like I always split it 2 ways because I feel like it's not that deep. Like they just have to swipe it twice.
Splitting it 2 ways if you're like out to dinner with another person.
Yeah, like
just
put
like
2 cards.
Both put your card down.
Because I honestly hate the whole Venmo thing.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't want you to pay and I Venmo you. I just want to give both of our cards and then.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this brings up another question. If you are going out, what is good with this mic flag today? If you are going out, whether it's for like coffee or lunch or dinner, are you always splitting that? Let's just say it's with one other girlfriend. It's not in a group setting. It's just one-on-one. Are you taking turns or are you just like splitting it equally and you're like, yeah, we'll just both put our cards down or I'll Venmo you half after?
Yeah, I feel like always splitting it.
That's what I used to always do. And I feel like recently I've just been like, oh yeah, I got it this time. And I feel like that's adulting because I'm like, but it's not at the same time. I don't know. I feel like I still go back and forth with it. And I guess it just like depends on the price too, right? Like I think if it's over 100 or like around 100, I'm like, yeah, like let's Venmo. Like it's like, but if it's under 100, sometimes I'm just like, yeah, like I'll get it. Like you can get the next one.
If you're like getting coffees or something.
Yeah, coffee definitely.
I feel like when it's a setting like that where it's like when we went to the smoothie place, like what was it called? Juice Pod?
Oh, Juice Pod.
Like, and you like go up to the counter, like we're not going to order together. We'll just order separately. But people are like, no, like we can order together. But I'm like, no, just order and then I'll pay for my thing. I don't know. I don't get that.
Yeah, no, that's
like friendly, but I'm just like, it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah. The only time I'll do that is when we are in like a group of like 3 or more, just for the line's sake. I'm like, let's just all order together and then we'll figure it out on the back end. But yeah, if it's just 2 people and it's just like a friend date, it's just like, yeah, and it's a fast casual place where you're ordering at the counter, then yeah, I think like it's fine to order separately and just pay separately. Briefly into like dating and stuff, do you ever think it's taboo to like split the check between like romantic partners when you're still in the dating phase? Like I think money can be very taboo in like early relationships and like.
Yeah, I don't think you should ever split it. I feel like the guy should just pay for it.
Perfect. Next question.
Perfect.
Nothing else.
Didn't we establish you're not bringing your wallet anywhere? It's actually really funny. Me and Aunt have this dad joke, which like it's not that funny, but we have the same bank account. So whoever pays, we're both paying. So he'll always, whenever the check comes, he's like, "You got this one." I'm like, "Yeah, I got this one." And the waitress is like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I'd hand the card to the waitress, but he always makes me pay.
Yeah.
He never picks up a check.
He's like, "Oh, I didn't even bring my wallet."
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these days though, men are like, "Oh, is it okay if I buy you dinner?"
Yeah.
Or like if you offer to split, they think it's because you like had a bad time, and it's like, no, that's not like because you're trying to like set boundaries and like not make it a date, not make it a thing.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like whatever, doesn't matter. Do you want to wrap up with a little game?
Yes.
So I thought it'd be fun to do a little this or that. Because I think everybody prioritizes like spending money on different things. So I'm curious to hear each other's answers for these. It's just 2 options. What would you rather spend money on?
This
little
or
rapid
that.
fire.
Okay.
Right. The first one. Would you rather have a huge wedding or put that money down for a new house?
New house all day. How about you?
Same. I don't even want a wedding to begin with. So like if I'm getting a new house out of it instead, perfect.
Totally. Well, the problem is that a house and a wedding are like costing the same these days, which is
100%
beyond me. But
yeah.
All right, the next one: going out to dinner or getting coffee out.
So yeah, let's say that there's like obviously going out to dinner costs more than coffee, but let's say somebody handed you a $500 gift card and said you can only use this on dinner, only use this on coffee. I would pick coffee because it's literally my favorite hobby, trying new coffee places. I do love dinner, but I'm just a morning girl through and through. And I love like a little coffee pastry moment. So that's my answer.
Mine's going out to dinner because I love my coffee at home. So
that's true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
it.
Designer clothes or luxury travel experience?
luxury travel
So
experience.
easy. I am not a designer clothes girl.
No way.
I don't know one designer from the next. And honestly, they're all ugly anyway. Everyone
They're so ugly and we're all pretending that they're not.
right? I'm like, wait, what? Like,
wait, this is so Did you see that like prank where they took Payless shoes and they put them in a bougie store in like just say the King of Prussia Mall, like next to Gucci, and called it like Palace instead of Payless?
stop. Like
And
a Target
acted-
situation.
Yes, like put like a bouncer out front, like all the things. A bouncer, a security person out front, and people literally were like paying $500 for Payless shoes just because they
Stop.
thought it was designer.
I mean, if that doesn't speak to where we're at as a
Seriously.
society, then I don't know what does.
It's crazy.
That could be a whole separate tangent, but
Oh
I
my
think
God.
that story enough sums up everything we would ever speculate and say
Yes.
about that topic.
You're
You're gonna ask me?
Okay. Unlimited beauty treatments or a personal trainer?
I'm gonna say beauty treatments because I love a facial. I'm just gonna say this is like all encompassing, like manicures, pedicures. Like to me, this isn't like Botox or anything
Yeah.
like that. Just like hair, stuff like that. So yeah, I would pick that because personal trainer, I love my little YouTube Pilates setup. Like I don't need much when it comes to that. What about you?
I actually, initially I was going to say personal trainer, but now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm going to say unlimited beauty treatments. Because I also was like, I don't really like beauty treatments, but I do love a facial. Although I've only gotten like 2 in my life. And yeah, like manicures, pedicures, hair. Yeah.
All the fun things
Yeah.
that being a girl comes with.
Yeah.
This next one's so easy for me.
Is it my turn again? I think it's you.
Oh, sorry. A private island or a private jet?
Private jet. What's yours?
Fuck yeah, private jet.
Okay, because then you can go anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also
you could go to a private island.
that yes, very, very true. But my caveat is I need to be flying the private jet. And like I actually meant to ask you if there was anything big in life that money has like held you back from doing. And like for me, I want nothing more than to get my pilot's license.
No way.
I've wanted it for years because I grew up like very close to an airport.
Yeah.
I still live very close to an airport, and I'm always seeing these little planes like take off, and I am fascinated. You would think I'm like a perpetual 4-year-old toddler because every time a plane flies by, like I'll like try to get their number, like look up like who it belongs to, and I want it more than anything. But the practical side of me, when it comes to money, is like, well, you need to pay to get your pilot's license. Then you would need to
so
pay.
much time.
Yeah, it's a
Did you
lot of
actually know
time.
how much it takes? A really long time.
But then you also have to pay to like rent the plane. And then like if I do get the pilot's license, unless I have a plane, it doesn't make sense. So that's a massive goal of mine. And like when I think of being rich and money, like that's absolutely something
It's
I'm
on
gonna
the
do. So yeah, that one was like a very, very easy answer for me, private jet. Fingers crossed one day.
Yeah, we'll get you there. Don't worry about it.
I'm worried
As
about
long
it.
as I try. As long as you have your license, then I'll trust you to drive me in it
There
or
you
fly
go.
me in it.
All right, I know this episode is getting a little long, so why don't we wrap up with our mental health resources of the week?
Mine is having a trip planned.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be anything fancy. But just like even if it's going somewhere for the weekend, like staying like staycation, somewhere local. It doesn't have to be jet setting somewhere, but just like having new experiences, getting away from the house and the grind and all the things. Like it feels so good and it feels like a reset.
I love that. So like having it planned and like having something to look forward
Having
to.
something to look forward
but
to and then
doing
actually
that.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's actually such a good like little mental trick because
Yeah.
again, it's like the anticipation, which
Oh,
is
I
like the
know.
best part.
When you don't have anything to look forward to, it's the worst.
Right. Mine is massages. So kind of speaking to like money and like affording yourself like little luxuries. I love nothing more than getting like a deep, deep tissue massage. And I like have my local hole in the wall place that I go to probably like twice a month. And it just really feels like a treat. It feels like I'm like doing something for myself. And it's also just like a little solo date. It's like times that I can just be like a little bit reflective in my head while I am getting the massage. And then I leave kind of just like feeling so like refreshed and like the tension has literally been like pounded out of my body. And so yeah, I love getting a massage.
That. That's
So
our
relaxing.
favorite way to treat ourselves is getting a massage. Oh
So
my gosh,
underrated.
the best.
All right. Well, this is a fun episode.
Yeah,
I like
it was
talking about
fun.
money.
I feel like it could have went on for hours.
We
and
could have
hours.
literally did 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a part 2 at some point.
maybe.
All right. Well, I guess it's my job now.
I was gonna say I was actually planning on wrapping it up because I feel bad. I made you like you were like, you're throwing a riot over there. I was just like, you got it.
Yeah, you're gonna be the silent treatment. But thank you guys as always for tuning into this one, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye.